Do you know that 1 in 4 men over the age of 50 suffers from an enlarged prostate? The prostate is a gland located below the bladder and surrounds the urethra. When the prostate grows larger than normal and presses on the urinary tract, it causes a condition known as enlarged prostate or benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, which can cause annoying and sometimes painful symptoms such as frequent urination, weak urine stream, and difficulty emptying the bladder. But what if I told you that some of the foods you eat every day could be making your prostate problems way worse? In this video, we will reveal the 10 worst foods for prostate health and why you should avoid them if you have enlarged prostate. You'll be surprised by how much your prostate health can improve just by avoiding these foods. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. Spicy foods. Spicy foods, such as hot peppers, curry, and salsa, can add flavor and heat to your meals, but they can also irritate your bladder and prostate. Spicy foods can contain capsaicin, which is the compound that gives them their fiery taste. Capsaicin can activate the nerves and receptors in the bladder and prostate, which can cause pain, burning, and urgency. A study of 4,404 men found that those who ate more spicy foods had a 27% higher risk of BPH than those who ate less spicy foods. So if you want to reduce your BPH symptoms, limit your intake of spicy foods to no more than once or twice a week and avoid them if you have a flare-up. Number 2. Vegetable oil. Vegetable oil is a common ingredient in many processed foods, such as margarine, salad dressing, and baked goods. However, for people with enlarged prostate, consuming vegetable oil can worsen their condition and increase their risk of developing prostate cancer. One of the main reasons why vegetable oil is harmful for prostate health is that it contains high amounts of omega-6 fatty acids, which are pro-inflammatory and can stimulate the production of a hormone called dihydrotestosterone, DHT. DHT is responsible for the growth and enlargement of the prostate gland, as well as the development of prostate cancer cells. So if you have an enlarged prostate, you should try to limit your intake of vegetable oil and opt for healthier alternatives, such as olive oil, coconut oil, or fish oil. These oils are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are anti-inflammatory and can help balance the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 in the body. Number 3. Dairy products. You probably know that dairy products like milk, cheese, butter, and yogurt are good for your bones and teeth, but did you know that they might also be bad for your prostate? Dairy products have a lot of calcium, which can make your body produce more of a hormone called IGF-1. This hormone can make your prostate cells grow faster and bigger. It can also raise the levels of another hormone called DHT, which is a type of testosterone that can make your prostate swell. Dairy products also have a protein called casein, which can make your immune system react and cause inflammation in some people. This inflammation can damage your prostate tissue and increase your risk of getting prostate cancer. So if you want to maintain a healthy prostate, limit your intake of dairy products to no more than 2 servings per day. Instead, you can eat more fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats, like the ones in the Mediterranean diet. Before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 4. Red meat. Red meat is a popular food choice for many people, but did you know that eating too much of it can increase your risk of prostate cancer? So how can that happen? Well, one reason is that red meat contains a lot of heme iron, which is a form of iron that can generate harmful free radicals in the body. Free radicals are unstable molecules that can damage the DNA of cells, including prostate cells, and cause them to grow abnormally. Another reason is that red meat can increase the production of certain hormones, such as testosterone and insulin like growth factor 1, IGF-1, which can stimulate the growth of prostate cells. And finally, red meat also contains carcinogens, which are substances that can cause cancer. These include heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, which are formed when meat is cooked at high temperatures, such as grilling or frying. In a study done in 2022 that involved more than 1.9 million men and over 35,000 cases of prostate cancer, researchers found that high consumption of processed meat, such as bacon, ham, sausages, and hot dogs, was associated with a 6% higher risk of total prostate cancer and a 17% higher risk of advanced prostate cancer compared to low consumption. So the best advice here is to limit your intake of red and processed meat and choose leaner cuts and healthier cooking methods, such as baking, boiling, or steaming. Number 5. Caffeinated drinks. Caffeinated drinks, such as coffee, tea, and soda, can give you a boost of energy and alertness, but they can also irritate your bladder and prostate. This is because caffeine can increase your urine production and frequency, which can worsen your BPH symptoms. Caffeine can also stimulate the nervous system and increase the muscle tone of the bladder and prostate, which can make it harder to empty the bladder completely. A study of 4,766 men found that those who drank more than 234 milligrams of caffeine per day had a 72% higher risk of urinary incontinence than those who drank less than 11 milligrams of caffeine per day. Another study of 3,036 men found that those who drank more than 6 cups of coffee per day had a 20% higher risk of BPH than those who drank less than 1 cup of coffee per day. So, if you want to ease your BPH symptoms, limit your intake of caffeinated drinks to no more than 2 cups per day and drink plenty of water to stay hydrated. Number 6. Fried foods. Fried foods such as donuts, fried chicken, and fries are not only bad for your waistline, but also for your prostate. Fried foods contain high amounts of trans fats, which can raise your cholesterol levels and increase your risk of heart disease and diabetes. But they can also interfere with the production and metabolism of hormones, such as testosterone and DHT, which are involved in prostate growth and function. A meta-analysis of 11 studies found that high intake of fried foods was associated with a 37% increased risk of prostate cancer. Another study found that men who ate fried foods more than once a week had a 30% higher risk of BPH than men who ate fried foods less than once a month. So if you want to protect your prostate, avoid fried foods as much as possible and opt for baked, grilled, or steamed foods instead. Number 7. Soy products. Soy products, such as tofu, soy milk, and soy sauce, are rich in plant-based proteins and phytoestrogens, which are compounds that mimic the effects of estrogen in the body. Estrogen is a female hormone that can have anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer effects on the prostate. However, too much estrogen can also have negative effects on the prostate, such as reducing the levels of testosterone and DHT, which are important for prostate function and sexual health. A meta-analysis of 14 studies found that high intake of soy products was associated with a 29% reduced risk of prostate cancer. However, another meta-analysis of 11 studies found that high intake of soy products was associated with a 30% increased risk of BPH. So if you want to balance your prostate health, moderate your intake of soy products to no more than 1 or 2 servings per day, and choose organic and fermented soy products such as tempeh and miso, which have less phytoestrogens and more probiotics. Number 8. Alcohol. Alcohol can dehydrate you and increase your urine output and frequency, which can aggravate your BPH symptoms. Alcohol can also affect your liver function and hormone balance, which can influence your prostate health. In a meta-analysis of 19 studies, researchers found that high intake of alcohol was associated with a 23% increased risk of BPH. Another meta-analysis of 57 studies found that high intake of alcohol was associated with a 14% increased risk of prostate cancer. So if you want to preserve your prostate health, limit your intake of alcohol to no more than 2 drinks per day and avoid binge drinking. Number 9. Processed foods. Processed foods, such as canned, frozen, or packaged foods, are convenient and cheap, but they are also loaded with salt, sugar, preservatives, and additives, which can harm your prostate. Salt can increase your blood pressure and fluid retention, which can affect your kidney and bladder function. Sugar can increase your blood sugar and insulin levels, which can stimulate the production and activity of hormones such as testosterone and DHT, which are involved in prostate growth and cancer. Finally, the preservatives and additives can introduce toxins and chemicals into your body, which can cause inflammation and oxidative stress, which are both linked to prostate problems. A study of 1,794 men found that those who ate more processed foods had a 64% higher risk of BPH than those who ate less processed foods. So if you want to improve your prostate health, avoid processed foods as much as possible and choose fresh, whole, and organic foods instead. Number 10. High-fat foods. High-fat foods such as butter, cheese, cream, and fatty meats can increase your calorie intake and weight gain, which can affect your prostate health. Excess body fat can increase the levels of inflammation and hormones, such as estrogen and insulin, which can stimulate the growth and activity of prostate cells. A meta-analysis of 25 studies found that high intake of total fat was associated with a 23% increased risk of prostate cancer. Another study of 2,115 men found that those who had a higher body mass index had a 31% higher risk of BPH than those who had a lower BMI. So if you want to prevent or reduce your prostate problems, limit your intake of high-fat foods to no more than 30% of your total calories and follow a balanced and healthy diet. These were the 10 worst foods for prostate health and why you should avoid them if you have BPH. By making some simple changes in your diet, you can improve your symptoms, lower your risk of complications, and enhance your quality of life. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you eat some of these foods regularly? Do they actually worsen your symptoms? Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thanks for watching.